what is he proposing? I mean, he always says it's free college, and everybody loves hearing this. What is it exactly?
What he's proposing is relief for more than 20 million American families who have kids in college right now, because everybody out there knows what's happened with tuition. Look at this, early 80s over here, and look at how it's risen up here, so that now for a public college now, on average, $17,000 a year. Many people can't handle that. So when he talks about free college, he really has several steps in mind to make that possible for people out there. First of all, he wants the federal government to be kicking in $2 in matching funds for each dollar the states supply for this plan of his. Now, that's a little tricky right there, because some of the critics say, look, how do you know the states are going to be able to supply that money? And if they do, are they going to get it by just taxing the very people they're trying to help? Beyond that, what he'd like to do is get the cost of student loan rates down to about 2% if anyone's taking a loan out there. And for those who already have loans, he would like to let them renegotiate, refinance at a lower rate, Aaron. That's the crux of it.
So, all right, that's what he says he's going to do. I mean, that's easy to say, right? But he himself has said this would cost $750 billion. That's $750 billion, okay? That is a lot of money. So it's very easy to promise these things, but then you have to find someone to pay for them.
Yeah, he says the financial services people will pay for it through a series of fees or taxes, whatever you want to call them. He wants to put a half of 1% fee on stock trades, a tenth of 1% on bonds, less than that on derivatives. And that doesn't sound like much, but there are millions and millions of these trades going on, sometimes by computer. So he says all of this adds up to a tremendous amount of money aimed at the big money people, not at the small stock owners who don't trade that much, although who knows if it'll be passed on to them. Anyway, he says because there are so many of these, if you add them up, that's $75 billion per year over 10 years. He says this would raise about $300 billion per year. He bases that on a UMass Amherst study. But there's other people at the Tax Policy Center who say, we think that you're making assumptions here about what the market's going to do if you hit them with all those fees. And if those assumptions are wrong, you may only get $51 billion per year. And then you have a great big deficit out there and a lot of problems, Aaron.